Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Very excited about this space today. I sent you some questions, Michael, on email really quickly, just like a little outline of today. Because I feel like a little out of my depth. Sports isn't my first go to in the NFT space. So I hope to learn a lot more of what you guys are doing at Vayner Sports with the Vayner Sports Pass. So this is exciting actually for me. And you are playing tennis in your PFP. So I do play tennis. That's one of the sports I do partake in. So at the very least, I'm inclined, but I'm really excited to hear what you guys are up to. So I would love to start off by going and just playing a little track to warm up the room, invite some folks in here, tweet out the space. So I'm going to go ahead and do that while we get ready for our chat with Michael of Vayner Sports.
And Jessica, I hate to inform you, but it's actually pickleball I'm playing in my PFP.
Oh no. Well, you have the form of a tennis player.
Thank you,
So,
I appreciate it. I did pretty
do
well
you
in our
play
little company
tennis?
tournament. I play tennis in the summers, pickleball also. A few family members have some courts that I used to take lessons in, but now it's just for fun these days. I actually played recently at VCon also. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, pickleball is all the rage now. I guess if I'm decent at tennis, will I be good at pickleball?
Not only will you be decent, you'll probably be very good. I say that like pickleball is a great sport because the skill gap is very small. Someone who picks up a racket for the first time, I think, will be able to have a decent game with someone who's pretty good, which I feel like is not the case in any other sport.
Okay. Well, then I'm ready to wreck people. So, here we go. It'll be the summer of pickleball. Everybody's playing it, so I'm in Brooklyn and it feels like that's like the whole it's all over the country, but that seems to be the trend. But I'm going to go ahead and play a track. I want to tweet the room out. I encourage everybody to also tweet the room out, DM your friends, and get excited for our talk about the Vayner Sports Pass. All right. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Super excited today. We are speaking with Michael Goldstein with Vayner Sports, with the Vayner Sports Pass. Very, very thrilled. Really appreciate our friends joining today, new friends, old friends, Nifty Kit creators, and also thank you to Nifty Kit for hosting these spaces as always. So, I cannot wait to talk to you today. But before we chat about all of that, just a little housekeeping. Firstly, there is info on Nifty Kit's V7. Aside from dark mode, we've also added new apps, share to earn, fee allocation, royalty update that you can install to your NFT collection, which is super excited. The details are pinned up top. And as always, please visit Nifty Kit to learn more how you can use our tools to become a creator. This space goes for about an hour. So if we have time towards the ends and if there are questions, we will have people up so you can request then. And then secondly, just a friendly reminder as always that we host these spaces every week. So join us back here next Tuesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard to talk with a Nifty Kit creator, Eric Blackford, about photography. So you won't want to miss that space. So with that, we are talking with the amazing Michael Goldstein. We're going to be talking about Vayner Sports, the Vayner Sports verse. I know you guys call it ecosystem, but I was like, it's the sports verse. The community they have built here and in Web3, and a bit about the current and future happenings with Vayner Sports. Before we dive in, if you all can quickly take a moment, check out the pinned tweets above. You can follow along as we talk today. And Michael, you can feel free to pin and add anything you want in addition. But with that, thank you for being here today. How are you?
Doing well. Definitely excited to be here. I remember we started using Nifty Kit a few months ago, and it's something that I feel like I've kind of become a little bit of a pro in. And so when Jazz and you reached out for a space, I was like 100% because you guys have helped us out in so many ways. So just looking forward to chatting VSP, Nifty Kit, and everything in between.
Awesome. Yeah, and I can't wait to dive further into that and hear more about your experience. So, for those of you who do not know, Michael Goldstein is a community manager at Vayner Sports Pass with Vayner Sports. Vayner Sports is a passionate community of sports and NFT enthusiasts, and the Vayner Sports Pass is a utility-first sports NFT project. So, Michael, I I'm very interested in this project because I don't know about it, so it piques my interest even more. But I would like to know more about you before we dive into the Vayner Sports ecosystem. How did you arrive in Web3? But prior to that, what's your IRL background and then what brought you into the Web3 space?
For sure. So I have a very unique, I would say, kind of experience overall and journey getting here. So right out of college 2 years ago, I started working for Vayner Media, Gary V's marketing agency, just as a media analyst, right, buying ads on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that. And while I was working there, just the first few months, the word just NFT, just getting, I feel like kind of shoved down everywhere. Everyone's just screaming about NFTs in the company. Gary's talking about it. VPs are talking about it. So I'm like, all right, I need to figure out what this thing is. And sure enough, I did my research. And 1 month later, me and a few of my home friends actually started a charity NFT project called Typical Tigers, where we help donate to help save to like tiger charities around the world. And so while I was doing this, I was the main founder and community manager there, and realized that I've really enjoyed doing this more than my marketing aspect of it. And so, working at Vayner Media, I was actually able to get a few minutes with Gary, and I kind of pitched to him why I wanted to do NFTs full time. And he connected me with AJ, who had just deployed Vayner Sports Pass 1 month ago, and he said, we just launched this project, could use more help. I explained to him everything, all of my background, and 1 week later, I was hired on the Vayner Sports Pass team just as a general community manager and just kind of consulting and everything in between. I mean, you know how this Web3 space works. You kind of wear a lot of hats on the project management side. I mean, you rarely are just kind of doing one thing. So on top of managing community. I mean, I always say my job is to make sure that everyone in the Vayner Sports Pass community is both happy and informed. And that consists of a bunch of things from talking to them on a one on one basis and deploying announcements and securing partnerships and all those things. So it's definitely been a fun journey so far. 1 year to date, actually. I joined Vayner Sports Pass on that side and looking forward to the many years ahead.
That's great. I love that you say happy and informed. That really speaks to me. I do want to talk a little bit about, before we dive into everything that you've been working on. I did post up top your vlog. I'm curious how that's going to evolve and how your experience was at VCon. So just, right up front, what was how was VCon for you?
VCon was fun. Definitely a lot of work. We were obviously wasn't from the consumer side, mainly on the vendor side. We were on field day by our sports relay at the booth, talking to a lot of people. I had a lot of fun. I mean, the more times that I get to put Discord PFPs to real life faces is always a fun time, especially as a community manager where I talk to so many of these people on a daily basis, and yet a lot of them I haven't seen who they are, where they come from, and learning their actual backgrounds and all that was, I mean, it was so much fun for me, both in the stadium, out of it, just connecting as humans instead of people in Discord was a ton of fun. And so I loved it. It was, I think, very productive just from a marketing standpoint, from getting a lot of people to learn about Vayner Sports Pass. I mean, we had a lot of activations from dinners to baseball games to little sporting events in the stadium. So I had a great time. How was your experience?
It was good. The one regret I have is that I didn't play any cornhole because that's like one of my favorite things. Every time I walked by, I was like, I want to go and play for a little bit. But I did hit up some arcade games, and of course, I was hitting up the slide like multiple times a day. They were probably like, get this girl off of these slides. But I had a really good time, and yeah, I loved that they had, just the element of play. You know, during the conference, I think I was saying this earlier, really kind of invoked your inner child. And I think that's a lot about what sports is too, at least, for me, and I think for other people too. And I got one of these Vayner Sports Pass times Nerdy 3 card things. You told me to grab one, and we pinned it up top. The team pinned it up top. I did I don't know if you call it a card rake, but I opened it, and it's really cool. Can you tell me what this is?
Yes, so this was a partnership with Nerdy3, which is a NFT card collectible company. They approached me and said, "Hey, we want to do a little bit of a promo. We'll give you 500 of these cards to give away at your booth." Also, because the founder of Nerdy3 happens to be a good friend of mine and a VSP holder, he's like, "Hey, it'll be a good marketing promotion for us both. I'll get the exposure. You'll have something at your booth where people will always want to come up and take." Because we were just getting people coming up being like, "Oh, could I have one of these cards? Yeah, now that I have your attention, here's what Vayner Sports Pass is." And so they were just like, they're just cool collectible cards of different CCO NFT projects, since you'll be able to utilize their art in any fashion. Well, Nerdy3 ended up making rookie cards out of those from like the Wolf game, Moonbirds. I believe the one you got was an X copy, and in 5 of those envelopes there was a little winner slip. And if you got that, then you were given a full sheet of cards that we had there. So just a little cool collectible that you could take home, and it was a great thing to just get people at our booth.
Yeah, this is really cool because I was looking at this, and I got a 333, which is a cool number. So I didn't know if that was like different, a rookie card. You said X copy. I thought it was X copy. I wasn't sure, because my brain was melted at the end of the week. So I was like, ugh. But this is cool. I should have grabbed some more, but not going to be like that. More for everyone else. But that was really cool. Like anything where you can do like be active and be able to do collabs. I think that that's really, really cool. Um, we also pinned up top a piece that I would love to move through. But before we do that, I wanted to get to Nifty Kit for a moment. But first, if you can provide us with just a general TLDR on Vayner Sports and why and what is Vayner Sports, and then I would love to talk about and move through the genesis of the Vayner Sports Pass.
For sure. So the unique thing about Vayner Sports Pass is it's built on top of the established sports agency of Vayner Sports, right? So Vayner Sports, the agency representing hundreds of athletes across mainly American football, baseball, MMA, and esports as well. And so the TLDR is essentially we leverage the network of the Vayner Sports athletes to provide utility to the Vayner Sports Pass holders, right? So if you think about a Vayner Sports Pass NFT, right, that is your membership pass to unique digital and IRL sports experiences all around the world, right? So we essentially we send our holders to these premium sports experiences. So we don't just send, for example, a few people to a baseball game. We'll send them to the game where they'll meet Vayner Sports athletes on the field before the game. They'll be sitting in suites with some of our team members. They'll get maybe a signed baseball. These are sports experiences that are provided to holders of Vayner Sports passes. And so we have an entire raffle system where the more passes that you have, the higher the odds that you are able to win those specific experiences. So they're essentially your tickets into entering all these raffles from sporting events, and we've done 40 plus events across the entire world, sending over 500 or over like 400 people to all of these events worldwide across 10 different sports. So our goal is to really be the premier sports utility NFT project.
So, if you're a sports fan and you're interested in doing something like a meet and greet, is this something that would be aligned with that?
I mean, not only a meet and greet, I would say really like experiencing a sporting event in which you won't be able to purchase that experience, right? Some of the experiences could be as simple as, sending people to a game, but if you want that kind of premier athlete experience, that's something that we're looking to build out of Vayner Sports Pass, right? Like for example, we had a few of our holders who went to a New York Rangers game, and the next day they were at a bar in New York City with the captain of the New York Rangers, just hanging out with him, having a drink, talking to him. That's not something you could buy, right? There's not like a dollar amount that you could place on that. And those are the experiences that we have provided and are aiming to provide even more for our holders.
That's so cool. So, do you continue to add teams and organizations onto this?
Yes, so we're always looking to add more and more athletes to our portfolio. Just recently, about a month ago, we just opened up a basketball division. So we haven't repped any basketball players yet, but we just opened up a division about a month ago, and now we're looking to bring on basketball clients, which again will be able to leverage their network to the benefit of the Vayner Sports Pass NFT holders. Send them to, say, we get a player on the Bulls, right? We can now send these players to Chicago Bulls games, and they'll be able to meet this athlete, maybe get a meet and greet before the game or after the game. All the leverage and network and the utility that comes with those players, we try and cross over to the holders as much as possible.
That's so cool. I do want to get into the utility in a little bit, but I am walking distance from the Nets. So whenever that comes into play, would be freaking awesome because I love basketball. So huge fan of basketball and being so close to it. That would be something that would be just awesome. So I want to move through some of the aspects of how the VS Pass came together with Nifty Kit. But firstly, for those of us who are not sports inclined, there are some people in this room that are not, and I am not talking about myself, just kidding. Maybe you could talk about the NCAA March Madness tournament and how you leveraged Nifty Kit to drive engagement. And then I wanted to then go and circle back and talk through some of the aspects and components that the holders have enjoyed. So if you could just recap the NCAA March Madness.
For sure. So one of the little cool little activation slash utilities that we included for Vayner Sports Pass holders are these playoff competitions. And so we started doing this. So the first thing we did it was with the World Cup in soccer, right? Where every single soccer Vayner Sports Pass holder got airdropped an NFT that represented one of the, I believe it was 32-ish teams in the World Cup. If you held the NFT that represented the team that won the entire tournament, you were sent a prize. So everyone that held Argentina, that NFT, they were sent a prize. And we did this kind of like manually with different contracts, and I believe we even tried like Manifold with one of them, but it wasn't such a seamless process of being able to collect everyone's wallet address, airdrop all of them, update all the metadata individually. Like that took a really long time when we did that for our soccer competition, and again with the NFL one as well. So when it came to March Madness, where we had 64 different teams, right? Meaning, what we did was we created 64 different kinds of NFTs, airdropped them to all of our basketball NFT holders, each one representing a different team. Nifty Kit allowed us to do that like in a perfectly seamless process. Like I just uploaded a CSV of all of everyone's wallets, clicked airdrop, and randomly it sent, three, 400 of these NFTs across all these wallets. And so once we just uploaded all the metadata, that just happened automatically. And then additionally, what we did was Nifty Kit created a separate mint link for us where, again, we did zero back end work as far as like coding contract. It was simple as create mint link, set price. Here's your link that we sent out to the community, in which we generated around 4.2 ETH in extra revenue that we utilized for more prizes. So essentially, what we did was we leveraged that platform to put out this NFT collection where the farther your team got in the collection, so say UConn, for example, there was an NFT that had the UConn symbol, which ended up winning the entire tournament. The farther they got, the more prizes people were entered to win and eventually guaranteed to win as well. All made possible with the Nifty Kit platform where we didn't have to lift a finger on the coding side. It was as simple as just clicking buttons, uploading some CSVs, and that was it.
So happy to hear that. And in terms of ease of use, I can back that up. A lot of folks in this room can too. But on a larger scale, like for yourself with Vayner Sports, like that's incredible. Like I couldn't even imagine like how that cut like your stress levels down by being able to do that. And also like on the side of the receiver, of the collector, like what a joy that is to be able to get things disseminated so easily and quickly and seamlessly. So that's really cool. I have like kind of a quick question about the sports that you guys are working with, like the types of sports. So you're NFL, soccer, and what other?
So
Um,
as far as Vayner Sports, the agency, we only represent athletes from NFL, MLB, UFC, MMA, and then gaming. So we don't represent athletes from any other sports, but we still provide utility for those other sports. For example, we don't have any hockey players, but AJ and Gary again are close with the captain of the Rangers, so we leverage them to help provide utility to our Vayner Sports Pass hockey holders, right? Because on every Vayner Sports Pass NFT, which I probably should have said this earlier, is there are different little sports icons on them, and those icons determine which utility you benefit from. So if you hold baseball NFTs, then you could benefit from the baseball events. If you hold soccer ones, you benefit from the soccer ones, etc.
so if somebody is hearing this for the first time and they're like, oh, this sounds really interesting. Like I'm an MLB fan or I'm an NFL fan. What do they do? Where do they go?
So we always recommend that people pick up the passes in which have the sports that they enjoy. So what I would recommend doing is going on whatever secondary platform that you use, most commonly OpenSea, and scrolling through on secondary and seeing which passes have the icons that they would enjoy the most. So, for example, for me, I love
Cool.
football and baseball. Or American football, I should say. I would be looking at passes that have baseball icons on them and American football icons on them, because those are the events that I'll be able to attend to if I hold those passes.
And are they limited to that? So like if you got an MLB one, can you be in the running for other perks
So
across other
at
sports?
this time, no. So if we launch a UFC fight raffle, right, which is MMA, and you only have baseball VSPs, then you won't be able to enter that raffle. However, there are some passes which are called wild cards that have no icons on them. There's only 97 of them that get you access into every raffle. So those go for a bit of a premium.
Okay, cool. I'm just taking notes over
Yeah, no,
here.
you're
You
good. You're
know,
good. I'm again. This
I'm
is my
more of
job,
an
right?
MLB, so I'm like MLB. Well, I mean, my job is to interview you for the
For
community,
sure.
but I'm definitely doing some personal some personal investigation for myself
I
right now
got you.
because I'm very curious about this. And like, yeah, when baseball season hits, I'm like, I'm a fan. I'm not going to say what I'm a fan of because I feel like I'm going to get weird hate DMs. Who knows? People are really intense about their
For
teams
sure.
everywhere, but like particularly on the East Coast where I am. So I did want to talk a little bit about if you could walk us through some of the perks and the components of being a pass holder, which include some things that were listed in. There was this amazing piece that was posted up here. I think it was, hang on. If it's not, I'll pin it up there. But just talking about a few components, which was the NFT utility and airdrops. You kind of touched a little bit on both these, but I would love to kind of dive a little deeper into each of these. The utility and airdrops, the competitive structure and prizes, the additional rewards and raffles, and then the custom minting and additional NFTs sales that you have sort of outlined in that piece that was authored by Joss, our lovely Nifty Kit team member. So I would love to kind of just recap some of these things and what holders can expect from being a pass holder.
For sure. So going through kind of the things that we've talked about, the majority of that utility is obviously the sports experience aspect of those, right? Being able to attend those sporting events. Um, at first, originally we've been doing a lot of NFT raffles and allowless giveaways. Those have kind of slowed down a bit since obviously the market hasn't been the best. And so we kind of transitioned from those into more of those playoff competition NFTs, right? So instead of either giving away NFTs or doing like a partnerment collection, we've done all of these playoff activations where people get essentially airdrop for free these NFTs for all these different sports, right? We did it for hockey, basketball, March Madness, football, soccer, World Cup, all of those things. So we, again, as the market kind of turns, we're always kind of shifting our utility model for that. And so with the bulk of it being obviously the one that will always remain constant, the sports experiences in real life. So I would say that's kind of the main thing and the main utilities of Vayner Sports Pass. With that, with obviously your dose of Web3 NFT allow list giveaways and partnerships with various other NFT projects that we're able to kind of come with mutually beneficial partnerships out of them.
Awesome. I just pinned that up there. There's a piece on LinkedIn that kind of goes through in detail the the whole everything. I'm just like it goes through all of it and how it's structured, and it's really exciting to read about. So I encourage you guys to like that and go back and read it later and get more into the Vayner Sports Pass language
Yes.
and learn more about
Yes, and
it.
a lot of that is
Yeah, so
talking
that's pinned up
about
top.
the playoff activation model that we feel pretty confident in. Something we feel like we found something here. A lot of the holders have been we've been getting a lot of positive feedback around that. Even one of them's live right now with both basketball and hockey playoffs are live. People have their teams that they're really rooting for, and there's some action happening on secondary where people are buying the teams, right? Say you got like at the beginning of the March Madness playoff, we had someone in the crowd that's a very very big Kansas fan. They wanted to scoop that up, and so we had other guys who were Purdue's fans. They were picking those up for all the March Madness stuff. So it was speaking to what you were saying before, like bringing out that competitive element to them. That's something that we feel it's kind of shown through these activations of people really getting into it and defending their teams.
That's cool. So, I don't know if you can share. I do want to open up the floor for people if people would like to request to come up and ask any questions. But in the meantime, I'm curious what's on the horizon. I know you just kind of said what was going on now, but what's coming up that you haven't already talked about, or anything that you're really excited about that's coming soon?
Yeah. So it's been, I'll say the last kind of 2, 3 months have been really busy with a lot of in person stuff. Whether it was NFT NYC and obviously VCon just happened. We just recently, less than a month ago, hosted this event called Wildcard Game, which I haven't even mentioned yet. So I remember I mentioned to you earlier that there are these specific Vayner Sports Pass NFTs that have zero icons on them that give eligibility to anyone to enter all raffles, not just the specific sports ones. Well, these wildcard games also granted you access into Wildcard Game, which was a competitive game show styled NFT competition where the grand prize winner ended up winning $100,000, where the last 5 people were actually competing in person in Las Vegas. I could find that video and kind of pin it up, but that was one thing that we also kind of just finished there. And so, going back to your initial question of what's on the horizon, obviously continuing to put out more premium experiences for our holders to attend. Obviously, sports being very seasonal. Baseball right now, we got an event coming up in Chicago. We were picking winners soon for the Ryder Cup, which is a golf tournament. We got possibly some UFC fights on the horizon that we're looking into in the fall. Obviously, a bunch of NFL games that we're looking at, and then kind of switching up the model in which we're doing now, where we're kind of going a bit different from strictly raffles to adopting more of a loyalty point structure program where your actual passes are going to be having specific points that you'll be using to enter raffles and buy stuff on our marketplace and all that. I know that the community has been waiting very patiently for that, and that's something that we're, again, full steam ahead with that aspect of the project and looking to make a big change with that.
That's really exciting. I mean, because I'm not somebody who got into the space because of sports, I think that this is really revolutionary and very interesting as we move forward in Web3, that we could be using things like this for perks, for sporting events and outings and things like that. So we have Jeff on the stage. Welcome, Jeff. Do you have a question?
Hi, yeah, I have two questions. It's really interesting hearing about the VSPs and all their use cases. My first question is about the dynamic images. Are you using dynamic images on your NFTs, like in the context of if someone holds, say, a baseball VSP and the season ends, right? But they still have it. Um, do you refresh those with every new season with a new team so they can keep playing and keep participating in it? Is that how that works?
No. So if you go on OpenSea right now and if you take a look, so right now there's a total of 12,505 Vayner Sports Pass NFTs, right? Mixed throughout all of those are different combinations of different sports icons on all of these passes. And those are the same, those stay, those don't gradually change, right? So we kind of see the supply and demand of the different passes change depending on the season, right? In the fall, when we were activating at a bunch of at a bunch of American football games, those were a lot of the passes that were circulating in volume. And then once that season ends, I guess some people, those are the ones that might not be in such high demand. So all of those NFTs stay the same regarding which sports they are, but you could accumulate as many as you want. So some people have like a pretty balanced bag of all 10 different sports. Some people, like you were mentioning, really like baseball, so they'll heavy up on the baseball NFTs. And when a baseball raffle comes out, like we just did with the Chicago Cubs game, they'll try and go all in on that. So those sports don't change throughout the season.
Gotcha. Yeah, the sports stay the same. I guess maybe I was asking in context of like, is each one of them associated with a certain team? Because you said something about Argentina winning and how that played into it.
Sorry, I was just getting a call there. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, yeah. I realize the sports themselves stay the same on the tokens, but how they're associated with certain teams can
Yeah.
change.
Got
So
it.
like you said, like Argentina
So
won. So does that update?
so I'll clarify there. The Vayner Sports Pass NFT collection is separate from the World Cup collection, separate from the March Madness collection. So the Vayner Sports Pass NFT collection is the one with all of those different sports, right? What we did was we collected all wallets that owned a Vayner Sports Pass that had a basketball on it, right? So we looked and we saw there were 600 or so wallet or 500 or so wallets that have a basketball NFT. We utilized Nifty Kit to create a different collection, a separate collection, and airdrop to them random teams. That collection was the one that had all of those teams, and depending on what team you had and how far they went, that determined how much which people won which prizes. So the Vayner Sports
Gotcha.
Basketball NFT got you the free airdrop of a March Madness NFT, which again we deployed on Nifty Kit, which got you utility depending on how far the team went. So if it went to the Sweet 16, we held a raffle. If you own this NFT that made it to the Sweet 16, you're entered to win a Friday Beers NFT. We gave away book games, Cryptoon Goons. The guaranteed winners got a bunch of different things, but those NFT collections were separate from the Vayner Sports Pass Genesis collection.
Gotcha. Yeah. That actually leads into my next question, which was about raffles. I don't know how much you know about this or if this is your area of expertise and all that, but in terms of the legal ramifications of doing contests, I believe like raffles personally is one of the best ways to go because it's all random and it's
Yep.
chosen based on those things. So you're not there's no there's no expectation of value. It's a contest. There's no
Yeah.
like you have to like purchase to enter, sorta. But but like in terms
So,
of like all the legal side of this,
yep.
is that why you guys chose that?
So we take all the legal ramifications of all of our contests and raffles really seriously. If you go on our website raffle.vaynersportspass.com, you could see on every single raffle we pay a lawyer fee where they create rules for every single raffle. They bond those rules because again these are all sweepstakes, and so we're paying thousands of dollars for every single raffle to ensure that the way that we're conducting those raffles and the way that those winners are picked are all fully complying with however the IRS and legal standards, dictate how to run these raffles. So legal is something that we are very familiar with and something that we're looking to change a bit with our new movement toward loyalty point systems to avoid some of those legal ramifications that are currently something that we're dealing with.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for your answers.
For sure, no problem.
Thanks for your question, Jeff. We also have another friend on the stage, your ops guy. You have a question or a comment?
First of all, what's up, Mike? How's it going, man? I
Dude,
missed you at VCon this
what's
year.
going on?
Good, man. Good. I guess as you know, I'm very familiar with VSP and everything you guys are doing and love every step of the way. I mean, I've been involved with that project for what feels like forever at this point, but I guess all these things in this space feel like that now. My question, I guess, is like, your experience in the evolution of where things were developed at the front end with, the whole tech side of things into these no code solutions. We've actually talked about a few different platforms for no code. Like what did you like about utilizing Nifty Kit? Like what services did you find on their dashboard that you found super easy to work with, super intriguing? Like it just kind of opened the doors up for you guys.
Yeah. So when we first created the World Cup collection, we didn't do it through any specific platform, and we were working with our devs to kind of customize all these things, and it was a big pain having to deal with this through code and paying devs and all that. So I forgot who recommended Nifty Kit specifically. It might have been you, actually. I think you guys were the ones that recommended us to utilize the
Yeah,
platform,
it was.
right? Yeah. And so we're like, all right, we need to find like a no code solution here. We were doing that together with the Splash NFT collections. For those that don't know, Mike, your ops guy here, he's been helping us out through Nifty Kit with all those Splash NFT collections. and we had a lot of upcoming collections that we were going to launch with all these playoff activations. Just in the months of like March through May, there was the NBA, there was NHL, there was March Madness. We did the Masters also, all of these different playoff activations that we wanted to do. And we needed a quick no code solution, as you were saying, to launch all these collections. And so the fact that I don't have to lift a finger with the coding aspect of it, I could upload a CSV of all these wallets and it'll just manually or automatically airdrop these. I could upload the metadata on one big spreadsheet with all the IPFSs without, again, having to do anything coding wise is the reason why we're using this. And then to be able to put out a mint link to sell additional NFTs at a low price without having to code anything has been the easiest way for us to do that. Any questions that we have, we hit up the support team and they answer us right away. And people don't even realize that how easy it is these days to create an NFT collection, and NiftyKit makes that possible.
Yeah, the team is top notch, man. Eugene, Louise, like they're always the first ones to respond to any inquiries I have, and maybe you can help me push because I've been begging for this for a while now. I've been with Nifty Kit for over a year now. I think it is. I think I joined in May of last year, and I've been pressing for the 1155 to jump on their platform, man. So maybe a couple extra arms pushing me through the door, maybe they'll make it happen here.
Hey, listen, I'm down for that. We create 721s for all our teams, condensing them all into 64 1155s for March Madness instead of the 700 different ones. That would be awesome.
Cool, man. Well, listen, congrats on everything, dude. I'm always proud of what you guys are pumping out, and definitely pay attention to the project. You guys are definitely at the tip of the spear with a lot of the stuff, and one of the really cool components that I think we've discussed as well, but just to kind of share with everybody, the dynamic metadata component with relative to sports brings this whole thing to another level, where statistics can be imported into the metadata. Like there's a whole sports angle on this NFT side of things that really isn't explored to the extent it should be. And I think that, with projects like this and all these different, sports championships and tournaments and things going on, like that opens the door to create that dynamic element into the collections as well.
I agree. And we haven't explored as much the dynamic aspect of it, and that could be a kind of a little hole on our end that we could start looking more into, because I know that's something that you've been mentioning also. So this sounds really cool.
Yeah, we've run some tests, man. Happy to keep working with you guys on it for sure, man. But glad to hear you're working with these guys and up in the spotlight here, man. That's awesome.
Appreciate you,
Thank
Mike.
you so much for your question. Thanks so much. So I have a few more questions before we wrap up. So I usually ask folks when there are guests on the show if they consider themselves trailblazers, but I want to kind of revise that and ask you how you see Vayner Sports as trailblazing within Web3 and how you see this, VS Pass setting an example and modeling what's possible in sports and Web3 and how you feel about the future of sports in this capacity.
Yeah, I mean, with Vayner Sports, we kind of marketed ourselves as a Web 2.5 project and company. We're not fully Web3, right? A lot of what we're based on is sports, which I guess could be put into the Web 2 aspect side of things. And so our goal really is to find all of those casual sports fans, people that enjoy attending games, wanting to get those VIP experience at games, and are just a little bit tech savvy to figure out some of the things that we have going on here and onboard them into our community. I mean, right now we have a really, really strong core foundation of people that have really built this project up to what it is today. I'm talking about the community members, a lot of them, some of them in this space today that have shown their conviction into the future of this project and what everything we have to offer. And so our goal is to find more of those people, some of them maybe not too familiar with NFTs, and make it a seamless and easy process for them to be able to pick up a Vayner Sports Pass NFT and be able to attend a local sporting event or meet an athlete at a game or catch up with their community members in their local cities. a lot of it is building a community of sports and a little bit tech savvy individuals that want to get to know each other, that have that extra time to talk and interact with each other. And I think as time goes on, we'll get there. We're obviously not there yet, but I think we're taking the right steps in order to get into that spot where the casual sports fan hears about this, sees the easy way that they're able to get into this, and allow them to benefit from the utility that we provide to our holders.
You touched on this a little bit earlier about loyalty and, and getting people in the space and building loyalty in Web3. I wonder, what you would say since you've been in Web3, what has it been looking like in terms of the loyalty and the fans entering? Is it working better in Web3 for you right now with Vayner, like in its current state?
Yeah. So right now we have not implemented the loyalty system that we've been talking about. It's something that is in the process, both on the legal side and a little bit on the tech side, in order to find the sweet spot of how we're able to, say, give out these points to our holders without us being considered, not in the right terms of things, like what kind of system we are, right? Because the way that it currently works is a Vayner Sports Pass holder wins a raffle. They go to a Chicago Cubs game, for example, and they'll be taxed and they'll be liable for the value of that event. And so what our main goal is with this entire new point system is creating it where they win a raffle, they go to this game, and they're not liable for the value and the utility that they provided there. And so we're building this model to obviously ensure that the core community is benefiting, and also making it just a little easier for, say, a casual sports fan to be able to get involved in a sports loyalty membership program that allows you to, pay a certain fee and be able to go to all these sporting events.
Yeah, that's really cool. And do you see, like, as you're building this out, is there like a timeline you think when, because I know you just mentioned there's like legalities around this, but it's something that you are working towards. Do you think this is going to be like how far
Yeah.
out do you see this?
Yeah. I know it's been a very common question along with the community as well. I'll say that all of our energy is fully devoted to creating the system and making it the best it can be. I know AJ often says we'd rather get it right than get it out first. And so we're not going to put any specific timeline on it yet because a lot of things can happen, but I'll say that all eyes are on loyalty points and ensuring that we could get this out as fast as possible in the best manner as possible right now.
This is really cool. And so are you going to be using Nifty Kit for this?
Who knows?
I have to ask.
Who knows? I mean, listen, we're exploring a lot of different avenues, and we obviously have our own internal dev team and all that. So we're looking to create this not specifically on chain when it comes to points, because again, we want to make it as simple and as easy as possible. But again, still options on the table.
Well, this is all really exciting. I do want to wrap up soon, but if there's anybody else that wants to hop up and has any questions, please feel free. But in the meantime, I would love to hear any last words or any calls to action on anything that you guys have in the works and anything that we should know about or stay tuned for in the near future.
I would just say, if you're in the audience and you're a sports fan and the things that we were talking about are of any interest to you, whether that's attending sporting events, connecting with a community that are big sports fans, I would definitely recommend you check out Vayner Sports Pass. A lot of it is, as I was mentioning, being able to send as many holders as possible to these premier sports experiences. If you're from, and again, we have a lot of like niche cities that we activate at often, and we have a lot of sub communities within cities that people often rally up and go to those events. So you might be shocked to see how many people in your area are as passionate as sports fans as you, and you could be able to benefit in that way. So it's about appealing to the casual sports fan and being able to onboard these people into hopefully Web3, but essentially on Vayner Sports Pass. So we got a lot of things coming up with more events, and obviously loyalty is the main aspect of it. And I'm just looking forward to growing this community day by day.
Well, this is so awesome. I've been, gently scrolling down to see the right combination of sports on these passes because I didn't know that they had like you could do basketball, golf, tennis, like they're all on the pass. So I encourage people to browse. I mean, you have gaming on here. Like this is so cool, and it definitely feels like an entry point. Because when you were first talking about this, I was like, "Wow, how much is this going to be?" But when I actually got onto OpenSea, I was looking at the passes on the secondary. They're very approachable in terms of getting into the ecosystem. So yeah, I do highly encourage people. I mean, this is an initial space. I mean, we've worked with you guys on your drops or on this drop. So I'm very like I feel bullish. I'm not even a holder, but this is really cool and would make me be really interested in getting into the ecosystem. So we are going to wrap up, but I do want to leave with one question or leave you with a question and leave the audience with this answer. I do ask a lot about legacy too when I'm speaking in these spaces. And I was wondering, in terms of legacy, what do you hope to leave behind in Web3, speaking on behalf of Vayner Sports and or for yourself?
Easy. We want to be the premier sports utility project. When people think of where's the best, I'm a sports fan and I'm into NFTs, where do I go to? Vayner Sports Pass. And it's even more than that. It's not just specifically within NFTs, right? We are looking to build the premier and probably the first ever sports loyalty membership program. And we want to make it to the point where any sports fan, it'll be a no-brainer for them to be able to get onboarded on this community and benefit from the utility that we provide, NFT holder or not.
I love that. And you're here first. And we're all early, as we say. So I have no doubt, and I have no doubt that Vayner will be the premier of anything that it sets itself out to do in this space. So I'm really thankful for your time and coming on and talking to us about what you've been working on and the way that Nifty Kit has assisted in the success of this. And I just want to thank everybody for joining us today and to Nifty Kit for hosting as always. Please follow the Vayner Sports Pass, follow Michael, follow Nifty Kit. And if you are a creator, please be in touch. If you want to become a Nifty Kit creator, you can check out the pinned tweet above, learn more about Nifty Kit, and reach out so we can help you launch your next NFT project. You can hit us up in the Discord. You can always hit me up in the DMs. You can hit Nifty Kit up in the DMs as well. And please join us back here next Tuesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we are going to be talking with a Nifty Kit creator, Eric Bachford, about photography. So you won't want to miss that space. So thank you again so much, Michael. Really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica. I really appreciate you hosting us today. Again, I don't usually do some of these spaces often where it's just an hour talking about Vayner Sports Pass. So I appreciate you allowing me to come up and talk about all the awesome things
Of
that we've been building.
course.
Appreciate the help that Nifty Kit
Got
has
it.
provided to us for. Again, people don't even realize how much time and energy Nifty Kit has saved me personally and the Vayner Sports Pass team. And I just want to show my appreciation to that team for allowing us to provide utility to our holders in a very easy fashion.
I love it. I love to hear it. I love to see it. So thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to play us out. Have a great day, everybody, and see us back here on Tuesday next week.